Good morning, guys. Welcome to Early Morning Solano, and I just want to say it's been a while since I gave you hi, good morning.
Good morning. Oh, that's right.
This is one of the advantages of living in such a small town. Everybody gets to know you very quickly. So I wanted to give you something really informative. And that's going to be a cost analysis of Solano versus Cebu living expenses. So we'll start with the basics, and that basic is rent. Now, I'm very fortunate in the fact that I am able to live with a roommate here. My portion of the rent is only 2,500 pesos a month, 2,500 pesos a month. If you wonder what apartments in this area go for, a 2-bedroom apartment typically goes for around 5,000 to 6,000 pesos. In general, apartments here range from about 4,000 to 8,000 pesos, 8,000 being at the very higher end of things. I've only seen one. So that's to put in perspective for you how much cheaper it is. By comparison, first let me say this. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment right now in Solano. I have access to a kitchen, a bathroom, full-size refrigerator, living room, and a bedroom. In Cebu, I lived in a high-rise condo, very nice high-rise condo, a studio apartment which had no kitchen, had the smallest bathroom in the world, was just not a good, it missed many amenities. You couldn't, there was no balcony. There's a balcony in this apartment. It was 20,000 pesos a month, 20,000, 400 American dollars every month. So by moving here, I cut my costs by more than a quarter just in living expenses. And it has made a big difference in my pocketbook. Let's talk about food. The food cost here is about roughly, I would say, 40% of what it costs to live in Cebu. For example, last night I had dinner at a restaurant that I've come to really enjoy here. It's called Magic Pan. The dinner cost me 80 pesos. I got a ham and cheese stromboli and a lemon cucumber water, which is really good. For 80 pesos, I left a 20 peso tip and I was out. In Cebu, the only 100 peso meal I ever got was from a place called Fudge. They had a Caesar salad Monday through Friday, which they offered for 100 pesos plus an 8 peso tax. No other food in Cebu even comes close to the price of the food in Solano. Food here is much cheaper. Even at the grocery stores, it's cheaper, unless you're buying, you know, name brand stuff like Coca-Cola or you know, Tyson chicken, or I don't even know if they have Tyson chicken. I'm just saying, name brand stuff is going to cost you the same pretty much wherever you go. But this being such a rural community and being in the rural Philippines, a lot of the stuff is fresh. It's grown by local farmers, and it's healthier to eat here for the most part. You can eat healthy in Cebu, but it costs you a lot more money. So that pretty much covers food. Now let's talk about transportation. You see how these trikes behind me coming right now? They'll come one after the other, one after the other. There's trikes everywhere here. To get to any part of town, it costs 10 pesos. 10 pesos. 10 pesos. Try doing that in Cebu. Even a motorbike in Cebu is going to cost you far more than 10 pesos. Cabs, the meter starts at 40 in Cebu. If you go to the local towns surrounding Solano, their meters start at 30 or 35. And they tend to run a little bit slower, in my opinion, than that of Cebu. So, transportation cost is almost, I mean, it's a small fraction of what it costs in Cebu. If you have to travel long distances here, you get on buses or you fly. And buses here run about between 70 pesos, 250 pesos. I think my ride from Manila to Solano was 250 pesos, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was. So you're saving enormous amounts of money in transportation costs. In addition, if you like walking and you want a little bit of exercise, everything you need is within walking distance, as long as you don't live way outside the city. Because this city is not big at all. It's very small. I'll try to throw a Google Maps image up here if I can remember. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Now, internet. This is the only problem with living in somewhere like Solano. PLDT does offer service here, but it's copper, it's DSL. There's no fiber in this town. Globe does not offer fiber either. There's one company that is trying to emerge into Solano with fiber. I just met a representative yesterday, but for 20 megabits per second and unlimited internet, they want 6,700 pesos a month. That's insanity. Up here, 20 megabits per second is the fastest you're going to get, unless you get a DSL connection from Globe. Globe's DSL connection runs about 200 meters off the main road that runs through here, and there are a few spots here and there where they have the banks for the phone lines, for the tap-ins. So these are things to keep in mind. I've personally been using a Globe Pocket Wi-Fi and a Smart Pocket Wi-Fi because some of these places get better signal in some areas than others. Some don't get a signal at all in some places. It's very expensive. For example, if you get the LTE home connection through Smart, which is a little bit faster than Globe, it's going to run you, the box is going to run you 2,000 pesos, and then it's 1,500 pesos a month for every 15 gigabytes. It's stupid. Globe is about the same for prepaid. Their broadband plans are a little bit better, but they have only 10 megabytes per second that they offer, and on the LTE side of things, you have to get DSL to get 20. So they have up to 10 megabits per second, which is just barely enough to do video. Barely. When I say barely, I mean barely. It's still gonna freeze up on you from time to time. But they only give you 50 gigabytes a month. So if you're uploading YouTube videos, you're gonna go through that in a couple days. Then you gotta buy more data. So the Pocket Wi-Fi system here is not bad. I think it cost me through Globe, it's 1,000 pesos per 8 gigabytes. That's not too bad. Smart, however, is I'm on a plan with Smart where I get 10 gigabytes for $7.99 monthly. When that runs out, as it already has, then I'm buying a 1 gigabyte plus 300 megabytes of YouTube daily for 50 pesos until my plan renews. So So that's kind of how it works here. Those are basically your options. And when I say those are your options, trust and believe, I have exhaustively checked out these options over the last week. This is one time I can assure you I know what I'm talking about. So internet, food, housing, but is this a place for someone to retire? Like, if you want to retire, is this a place? Absolutely. They have a brand new state-of-the-art medical center opening up just down the road. I had a friend that just had a baby in a hospital here. I'm not even going to tell you how much I was told it cost. It was so cheap, it was ridiculous. There's enough medical care in this town to suffice for anyone who doesn't have major health issues, like you know, some type of heart condition, or you have you know, primary pulmonary hypertension, or something that's going to kill you. This is not the place for you. But this is a good place to be. There are a lot of clinics here. The pharmacists are easy to work with. There is a little bit of nightlife here, so I'm learning, and it's just a good place to be. You have to like small town life in order to be here. But I grew up in a very small. I grew up in a town smaller than this. It was kind of nice to come back and see this lifestyle all over again. So and enjoy it, because it is enjoyable. It really is. People get to know each other. People are friendly. It's just a good way to live. It really is. So if you're thinking about retiring in the Philippines, you may want to consider one of these smaller towns. If not Solano, perhaps somewhere else. This is a pretty good place to be, because all the buses run through here. So if you need to get to Subic or Manila or Santiago, Santa Fe, any of those places, if you need to head north into the valley, you know, there's buses that'll get you there cheap. Hotels are cheaper, Airbnbs are cheaper, everything's cheaper, and most of the stuff is just as good. So I hope this helped, guys. Comment below if you have any suggestions or questions, and see you when I see you.